We have an international group that watches these recordings. It's a hard day though. So, bueno, text 62, capítulo 2, text of attachment. And from lust, anger arises.
Al contemplar los objetos de los sentidos, en la persona se desarrolla el apego a ellos. Y de ese apego nace la lujuria. Y de la lujuria surge...
Had a student ask about anger. Tenía una alumna que me preguntó sobre la ira. And so in the Bhagavad Gita, it talks about how anger is not just something that happens to us, it's actually a symptom. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna está explicando que la ira no es solamente algo que nos pasa, sino es una síntoma de una cadena de eventos. So it's a symptom from a chain of events, right? So here we have the chain of events. We have an object of the senses. Tenemos un objeto de los sentidos. So we see something and we say, I like that. Or I don't like that. Entonces vemos algo y decimos, me gusta eso o no me gusta eso. That's how the mind works. Eso es como funciona la mente. The mind is manas, right? And the mind is one of the elements that we receive when the soul descends and takes on a material body. The manas es uno de los elementos que el alma recibe cuando entra a este mundo material. Okay, so the mind is just black and white. It says, I like it, I don't like it. So the moment that you see a flower and you say, oh, I like that flower, then you're already creating an attachment to that flower. Or if you say something like, oh, that shirt's really beautiful, you're already creating an attachment to that shirt, right? It goes in the category of things I like. And the things I like, we have an attachment to. Entonces, siempre cuando vemos una flor y decimos, qué bonita esta flor, ya estamos desarrollando un apego a esta flor. Lo mismo si digo, qué bonita es tu polo, tu camisa, ya estamos desarrollando un apego, un gusto a esa camisa, a ese polo. Y así es como funciona la mente. And then we have the opposite. They'll have the aversion, right? So we'll have raga and dvesh. Raga is attachment, dvesh is aversion. Entonces tenemos raga, que es apego, y dvesh, que es el desapego, el rechazo. Okay. So everything that we're meditating on, that our senses are responding to, will go into I like it raga or I don't like it dvesh. So it just goes into different categories. Entonces, todo lo que estamos contemplando en la vida va a ir a la categoría de me gusta, raga, no me gusta. And those are those are the impressions that we have in our mind. Son las impresiones que tenemos en la mente. en sánscrito, la palabra para los as que son largas, kama, es algo parecido, ¿no? Deseos get activated. Desde activan los deseos. Okay? So you say, um, you see something you like it, and then you want it. Ves algo, te gusta, y ahí desarrollas. ¿Qué pasa si no lo conseguimos? Um, we suffer our what? ¿Cómo sufrimos? Depende de qué. Huh? El apego, right? How big that attachment is, or how small? Our karma, right? So like maybe like suffering will show up. Also, maybe it'll be small, maybe it'll be larger, maybe it'll be really big, but it's the same type of suffering. So, for example, just how karma works, you can get into like a small accident, a medium-sized accident, or quite a serious accident, right? That's the same karma. It's just how big is it, right? Entonces, por ejemplo, un karma puede ser un accidente. Entonces, puedes sufrir de un accidente chiquito donde, ay, me caí un poquito, ¿no? O un accidente más mediano o un accidente súper grave. No es el mismo karma, pero ya es la gravedad de tu karma. Eso depende cómo vas a recibir este karma, ¿ok? But we will suffer based on our gunas. Vamos a sufrir basado en nuestros gunas. So what are our gunas? Our qualities. Yes, that means las cualidades. Okay, so the three major ones for this material world are, ¿qué son las principales que tenemos este mundo material? Sattva, Raja, and Tama. Okay, so a sattvic person will just kind of like they'll just kind of wallow. They'll just kind of like maybe get a little bit melancholy, you know. They'll just like stay attached, but maybe get a little bit sad around it. But about there, right? Una persona sádvica va a desarrollar un poquito de tristeza, un poquito de melancholia, un poquito de nostalgia. They might get a little bit nostalgic, right? What would a rajasic person do? ¿Qué va a hacer una persona rajasica in the mode of anger, right? In the passion. Están en la modalidad de ira, de la pasión. So they'll get angry, you know, violencia o ira. So they get violent, they'll get angry, right? They'll say, why is this happening to me? You know, ¿por qué se me está pasando a mí? And they're also going to be more of the warriors, right? And they're going to want to do something about it, right? It's frustrating. I want to like, entonces tengo que arreglarlo, tengo que responder a esa persona, a esa situación. And then the people in the mode of tama, which is lethargy, darkness, what will they do? ¿Qué va a hacer la persona en la modalidad de la oscuridad, de la letargia, tamaguna? Huh? Llorar más, they'll cry more. Okay. They might just get depressed. They probably won't even say anything. They'll just like hold it inside, no, se deprimen y no va a decir nada, solamente lo mantienen adentro, no, and then it just like builds and builds. Y se acumula y se acumula. Okay. So this verse, because this one student, Amrita, asked me about anger. So just asking that question, what guna is predominant in our dear friend Amrita? Es ya preguntando eso, ya está como más en Rajaguna, porque ya como su respuesta es a través de la ira, se siente ira, right? So her response is more in the mode of Rajaguna, right? Of anger, okay? And as a Rajasic person myself, that I've been working towards sattva, so I'm a lot more sattvic than I used to be. I can definitely relate to this. Like when I get unbalanced, it's usually in anger. So think about you. Where does your imbalance usually go? Entonces yo como una persona más rajásica he trabajado mucho mi sattva guna, pero todavía cuando me desequilibrio va a ser la ira, la frustración, el resentimiento. Entonces que ustedes vayan pensando sobre dónde vas en tu momento de desequilibrio. Any ideas? Anyone want to share? ¿Alguien quiere compartir? Let's be honest. Vamos a ser honestos. Okay, some more nostalgia.
¿Cómo se dice? Gratificación instantánea.
Okay, instantaneous gratification, some more raja. More raja. Ajá. Y partías como va hacia la depresión, lo hablas o simplemente lo aceptas y así como lo sientes y pasa.
Sí, lo acepto, pero no me da nostalgia.
Okay, pero si te, como te para un poquito, como ya, como te pone ahí como un poquito en letargia, un poquito.
Sí.
Okay, so she goes a little bit more. I was just like questioning her nostalgia. Like, does it just like pass? Like she feels in it pass, that'd be more sattvic. But if it like stays for a bit and you like have to sit with it, maybe it depresses you a little, then that's more tama, right? Anybody else want to share? Let it out. Suelta, suelta. I guess I'm one of the only ones that gets unbalanced. Soy una de las únicas que se desequilibra.
This is when you want something that you can't get.
Or things don't happen as you thought they were going to, you wanted them to, o las cosas no pasan como quisieras. Right? We had an idea and everything just like didn't work, right? Tenías una idea, no something physical, right? It's like you thought you were the controller and you aren't. Like no, entonces agua fiestas, huh?
I was gonna say, I think I like start in frustration. I don't know how to get like super angry, but it's a frustration that turns into then like a disappointment and like a sadness.
Yep. Okay. So but doesn't get okay. So a mixture, right? So then does it like block you from acting a little? Like it just like yeah. So a little bit from like a little bit Rajatama there. Okay. Entonces en su caso, ella siente la frustración y a la frustración se le desanima. Entonces eso ya es Raja y Tama. Anybody else? Is it clear for you a little bit though where you go? Yeah, por lo menos que esté claro para ti. Okay. So what can we do about this, right? So because the question was around anger, I'm going to give just like a little bit of just therapeutic around anger. Entonces voy a dar un poquito de pautas terapéuticas. So first of all, you can just pause, right? The cosa que puede ser es así tomar una pausa and a few breaths. You can always put a hand on your heart and nos va a ayudar un montón. Right? Then we're going to drop our expectation. De vamos a soltar nuestro. Can we look at it? So like what was the last time that I was getting angry? And it's like would take so long getting to bed. Like it'd be 8 o'clock and they just start like we have bunk beds and we have this like swing in their room. And so they like take off all their clothes and then they're climbing up to the top bunk bed and then they need my help to get down. So Raike pretends she's diving into a pool. Entonces mis hijas ya a las 8 se frustran y empiezan a quitarse la ropa, suben en el camarote, necesitan mi ayuda para bajar. La verdad que pretende a clavarse por una piscina. Like they're like jumping, then they have like the skateboard moving underneath the swing, and I'm just like, and I'm exhausted, this is like the last thing I want to see at the end of a very long day, right? Entonces esa es la última cosa que quiero ver al final de un día súper largo, right? And so for a few days, I was just like, guys, like, just stop. And I'm like, Chaitanya, like, stop them. Entonces, por varios días estaba ahí como gritando, para, no, y Chaitanya. como, para esta locura, right? And then like I wasn't able to take that just breath. I mean, at the end of a long day, that's like it's just like the yoga just goes out the window a little bit. I'm still probably not as like out of my center as most parents, but it's still, to me, it's like it's altering me, right? Entonces, claro, ahí el yoga se va por la ventana, depende no tanto como la mayoría de los padres, pero fuerte. And so this is my example. So what is my attachment there? ¿Qué es mi apego there? Right? That they'll listen to me, que me van a escuchar, that the nighttime will just be this like really sweet, calm time, que la noche va a ser tranquilo, that everybody's just going to help me because I'm tired, que todos me van a ayudar porque estoy cansada. So those are my expectations, right? That's my ego talking, right? That's like my controlled situation. Esa es mi situación controlada. So so the idea is, well, so what acostarlos más temprano, all just past our calm state. Like it's beyond their adrenaline's out of control. Like, so I just like a better routine, una mejor rutina, right? So like we're like light a candle, we're putting Palo Santo everywhere. And so ahí estamos prendiendo una vela, estamos poniendo Palo Santo. So enter into like different act, right? We change like how can we make the situation better without, if it's a situation with the law, because I have with neighbors, like there's always alumnos que están psychology, educate yourself to how to better this situation, right? Or you speak to like all the other moms, right? Entonces ya haces una acción para mejorar la situación. Hablando con ChatGPT, un terapeuta, todas las mamás en tu comunidad, right? So we enter into action to get a better plan. And then we don't attach ourselves to that that's going to work either, right? But we do our best. Entonces no nos apegamos a este plan, pero hacemos lo mejor intención, okay? So we drop the expectation and we really figure out, in the moment though, you can just drop the expectation. Then afterwards, make a better plan. En el momento, sueltas la expectativa, miras tu expectativa, pero ya después de eso, cuando ya pasó la situación, haces un mejor plan, right? Then we lower our voice. De ahí bajamos la voz and our energy. So in the moment we become, right? Then it's just going to accelerate the anger and the Rajaguna in the space. El momento que nosotros ponemos a defendernos, a luchar, ya se acelera toda la energía en el espacio, acelera la situación o la ira. And if it's somebody that's like attacking us verbally, or the kids just, they're like out of control, you raising your energy, it's just going to make everything worse, right? Entonces, subiendo tu energía, subiendo tu voz, con una persona que está ahí como atacándote de pronto verbalmente, o los hijos que están súper fuera de control, eso solamente va a empeorar la situación. So we calm, we calm our energy and we go slow, okay? Calmamos la energía y vamos más despacio, okay? And then at the end, we remember. Al final, recordamos. We remember that we are souls. Que somos almas, okay? And that we are in this samsara, right? This wheel of just birth, suffering, living, reproducing, defending ourselves, and then dying, right? This is what we just are constantly doing. Entonces estamos constantemente en este rueda de samsara, de nacimiento, de sufrimiento, de procreación, de defendernos, de buscar comida y de sufrir en el cuerpo y de ahí morir. Okay, so we remember that this is all just this is all just a part of it. Que todo eso es una parte, okay? This is not just something that's like I'm the victim, this is just happening to me. Que soy víctima y solamente me está pasando a mí. This is happening to everybody. Que se está pasando a todos, right? These are situations that will allow us to grow, and that's why they're coming to us. Esas son situaciones que nos van a permitir crecer y por eso nos están llegando, right? So we can look at every of these situations just as a teacher. That's where we haven't understood completely yet how to be in pure love. Esas son situaciones donde, donde no hemos aprendido estar todavía en el amor puro, right? And in karma yoga. Y estar in karma yoga, which means action without being attached to the results of our actions. Okay. So where we'll really be tested, are you in action without being attached to your actions? No. Entonces, se van a hundir esos botones exactamente. Realmente estás en acción sin apegarte a tu what parts of your life activates that that's your school down to close our heart. It's a school to see ourselves as souls, to see ourselves as loving, blissful, eternal beings, right? And this is just the show that's going on around us all this lifetime. Entonces, como un ser espiritual, porque eso es lo que somos realmente. Any questions? Preguntas? Okay. It's 9:00. Good time to continue with our day. Bhagavad Gita ki jai.